the resultant file for perusal within 21 days. The DPP calls upon relevant agencies, including the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR, the Independent Policing and Oversight Authority, IPOA, to expedite investigation on all reports of enforced disappearance and deaths allegedly committed by police officers, and consistently submit reports to the ODPP for review after every 7 days. The civil society organizations and any other person with information that may aid the investigative authorities in these cases are urged to cooperate with the government and help bring perpetrators to justice. This office should also work tirelessly with the relevant government agencies to address concerns of witnesses, including their safety. The ODPP reaffirms its commitment to upholding human rights and the rule of law. Thank you very much. We can allow a few questions in relation to this topic. Thank you very much.
Amidst outrage from Kenyans and calls for accountability with regards to the recent killings and injuring of peaceful protesters, Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome has announced his resignation from office. The position is now held by his deputy, Douglas Kanja, who has been appointed in an acting capacity, Eliud Langat as the acting deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police Service, and James Kamau as the acting deputy director, or rather Inspector General of the Administration Police Service. And still taking a look on Koome as an individual. In the year 1991, Japhet Koome actualized his dream and joined the police service when he was enlisted in the then Kenya Police Force as a police constable. His journey in the service has been unique and interesting up until he took over from the then police IG Hillary. Our reporter Ian Githuku takes a dive into Japhet Koome's life up until he served as the Inspector General of Police since November 2022.
Engineer Japhet Koome, a graduate from the University of Nairobi class of 1990 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering, is a man who developed a passion for joining the police service since his high school days in Kagumo High School. In 1991, Koome actualized his dream and joined the police service, where he was enlisted in the then Kenya Police Service as a police constable, before he was later deployed to the Anti-Stock Theft Unit in Gilgil.
We would like the nominee to address the issue of Al-Shabaab. Our schools are being attacked, our health centers are being attacked, the residents live in fear, so we would like him to address also that. Thank you.
Honorable Fatuma talked about IPOA. IPOA, yes. I enjoy, as the Commandant at National Police College, I enjoy cordial relationship with the IPOA. They visit me at the college frequently. They come, I take them to our armory, they look at our training. We have good relationship.
Koome will later be recalled to general duty and posted to Buruburu Police Division, where he was the Deputy Divisional Commander. It was then that he rose to the level of OCPD, a position that he served in Machakos, Maragua, Buruburu and Central in Nairobi, where he was credited for ruthlessly dealing with armed criminal gangs across Nairobi. He later went on to serve as the head of planning at police headquarters, where he spearheaded the police housing and modernization program for a period of 10 years. Prior to his nomination to the position of Inspector General by President Ruto on the 11th of November 2022, Koome served as the Nairobi Police Boss, the Principal Assistant to the Deputy Inspector General at Vigilance House, and the Commandant National Police College, Main Campus, Kiganjo. This epitome of his career, however, recently received a lot of pressure, seeing that lives were lost under the arms of police and someone had to be held accountable.
Any police officer who uses ace or fire under those circumstances, we are there to protect that officer. Kwa hivyo tunaambia wakora, uko kule kwa estate, unasumbua wananchi kwa kudunga au visu, kupiga watu risasi, it will not happen under my watch.
For Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Ian Githuku.
Well, and away from that, according to the recent occurrences in the country, days after President William Ruto announced he will not assent the 2024 finance bill into law, now legislators allied to the ruling party UDA have gone silent. This comes as the Gen Zs continue declaring they will recall their MPs once the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC is fully constituted. The lawmakers said to be close to the head of state were only heard last on June 26, 2024.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Immediately after winning the August 8, 2022 general elections, UDA leaders started at a high note, moving in all major churches celebrating their victory. This became the norm. Every Sunday, politics took center stage, with preachers shortening sermons to accommodate their guests.
So the ayes have it.
Their political prowess coming out clearer after the 2023 finance bill swayed through in Parliament. Only for things to take a different turn this year. What was presumed to be keyboard warriors trying to oppose the controversial 2024 finance bill gave birth to a new era of revolution that triggered a national conversation.
Wale wengi unaona wakiandamana Nairobi wameshika simu ya iPhone, wanajiita Gen Z, wanafika kwa maandamano na Uber, wanatoka maandamano wanaingia KFC kukula kuku na minofu.
Those are the sentiments of National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, who doubles up as Kikuyu Member of Parliament and also known to be vocal among the Kenya Kwanza leaders. Ichung'wah has remained silent for more than a week now.
Tangazie nikiwa hapa, mimi nilipiga yes na niliongoza wabunge 204 wa Kenya kupiga yes.
Mugirango South Member of Parliament Silvanus Osoro also presumed to be fighting for attention with Kimani Ichung'wah is nowhere to be seen both online and in public.
Na katika hiyo mimi nataka nihakikishie wa Kenya.
Kiharu Member of Parliament, who's a darling to many in the vast Mount Kenya region, following his performance rating, is now missing in public events.
Majority, Your Excellency President, and all Kenyans watching us this morning, when we started the public participation in Finance Bill of 2024, we did make a promise that that public participation would not be an exercise in futility.
Kuria Kimani, Molo Member of Parliament, whose home was attacked for claims of fronting the finance bill, has muted.
We have listened to the view of Kenyans and we are all in agreement that there are two things that we must do.
Kapsaret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi.
20 million ilikuwa pesa yote ya mchango. In fact, hiyo kanisa ilikuwa imechanga 14 million. Sisi ndio tukaongezea ya juu na marafiki na watu wengi wenye tunaamini kanisani.
Known for his generosity and flamboyance during Harambes.
Kalwale, mimi ni mtu usiniulize ati nilitoa pesa kutoka kanisani. Nimekuwa nikifanya hiyo kazi before nikuwa mbunge.
And a close ally to President William Ruto now lacks what to say. Silence is a trend amongst UDA lawmakers as Kenyans are up in arms, ready to recall those who voted yes for the Finance Bill 2024.
Should you wish to engage in politics, you are welcomed to resign and join the political arena.
Begging the question, do they fear the Anguka Nayo trend that is picking up even as President William Ruto is seemingly heeding to the people's demands? For Newswatch, I'm Sammy Adika. And Jomo Kenyatta University of Science and Technology students held protest along Thika Road over the mysterious death of a fellow student. The students are rallying for justice following the mysterious death of Denzel Omondi, who was found dead several days after participating in the recent anti-government protests. Our reporter Mason Lowell has the story.
students from Jomo Kenyatta University took to the streets bearing banners and chanting for justice. Their anger stems from the tragic and unexplained death of Denzel Omondi. Known for his boldness, Denzel made headlines on June 25th when he joined other protesters who stormed Parliament, capturing the moment in a viral video. But the story took a dark turn. Just days after sharing his footage online, Denzel went missing. Seventh, his disappearance became a grim reality when his body was discovered in a quarry in Juja, Kiambu County a week later. An autopsy revealed that Denzel died by drowning, but both his family and fellow students are skeptical, questioning the circumstances surrounding his death and seeking answers. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Mason Lowell.
And at Ofungamano House in Nairobi, an important citizens' assembly organized by the Law Society of Kenya alongside Amnesty International and the International Commission of Jurists Kenyan chapter addressed the issue of extrajudicial killings and police brutality. Leading the charge was LSK President Faith Odhiambo, whom spearheaded calls for justice and accountability amidst persistent challenges.
Faith Odhiambo, in her address, passionately emphasized the long-standing issue of unresolved cases of extrajudicial killings, particularly those politically motivated across various regimes. She pointedly questioned the delay in implementing the last man standing report intended to hold perpetrators accountable. Civil society representatives presented compelling data detailing the extent of injuries and disappearances, illustrating the profound impact on the affected families.
For decades, our country has faced endless spate of unresolved extrajudicial killings associated with political spectrum. I remember Law Society was involved in collecting evidence for the last Mandamano killings. To date, we are still demanding from IPOA, why haven't you tabled that report? Why haven't you held those policemen accountable? Why is the Inspector General of Police? Stories of those who came before us, the different regimes, the different decades, are testament that when political stars and fights come to an end, there are bodies that are littered in, there are bodies that are left for our kin to deal with. Yet no one knows justice, no one sees justice for those victims. I would go on until the cows come home, and you will all see that each regime in this country has had its fair share of assassinations in an attempt to eliminate persons perceived to be standing for something that the political class do not want. Killing of innocent Kenyans on the streets started with Mzee Jomo Kenyatta on the dark Saturday of October 25th in 1969, when Jomo's visit to Kisumu turned bloody. We all know how many Kenyans died during the struggle for multi-party democracy under Moi's 24-year rule. Abductions, torture, and painful deaths did not start with this regime. The police have merely inherited the vice from generation to generation. And we are saying, does it stop in this generation? Yes. Does it stop in this generation? Yes. It must end in this generation. No more abductions, no more extrajudicial.
Participants united in their demand for concrete action from the government to end impunity and ensure justice for victims of police brutality. They called for transparent investigations and swift prosecutions of those responsible. The Assembly's proceedings echoed a collective resolve to confront systematic challenges and uphold human rights, signaling a pivotal movement in the nation's pursuit of justice and accountability.
We have seen police disappointing this hope, and we are demanding from the head of state that his promise that there will be no extrajudicial killings in his tenure, in his reign, that he may hold truth to that. At least if for nothing else, let people not die for standing for their beliefs. Let people not be abducted for standing for what they believe is right. And we are still demanding from him to ensure that all those who have been involved are arrested and prosecuted before our courts of law.
The gathering also highlighted broader societal implications, with attendees expressing deep concern over the lack of progress in protecting citizens from unlawful violence. Calls were made for robust reforms within law enforcement agencies to restore public trust and ensure adherence to constitutional rights. As discussions continued, there was shared commitment to supporting affected families and advocating for a fair judicial process that respects human dignity. For Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Ian Githuku.
The civil societies are struggling to put together the data of injured people, both from gunshots, crude weapons, and attempts to follow up on missing persons.
Well, that specific story will be taking us to a short commercial break, but we shall be right back with more news, especially on matters dialogue that is expected to kick off from Monday next week.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Cindy?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcast?
Really? Even which of the one?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
Aya, I'm not Go TV Stream. It's free. Go TV Stream iko mkononi na ni free. Download Go TV Stream app for free. We enjoy live TV na shows kamia nane. Download and watch later, anytime, anywhere. Go TV Stream iko mkononi na ni free. Available to active subscribers. Go TV, love it.
Welcome to the world of Hope Media, a media unit of Christ is the Answer Ministries that is committed to spreading the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ through the transformative power of media. Hope Media is dedicated to utilizing various forms of media to spread the message of hope, love, and redemption to all people around the world. Hope Media consists of various units that
Well, welcome back. With a few days left until the beginning of the 6-day national dialogue, as announced by President William Ruto, the Justice and Freedom Party has come out to make demands that they deem necessary for Kenyans. Justus Juma, the party leader of the Justice and Freedom Party of Kenya, has called for justice for the victims of police brutality during the recent demonstrations, saying all the culprits involved should be held accountable. The party demanded independent investigations into the deaths and injuries caused by police actions and called for judicial interventions in addressing these violations. While at it, the party also called for police reforms and also the parliamentary oversight during the process. This, they believe, must be done before any talks are conducted by the president.
Muungane na sisi kuhakikisha hakuna Mkenya amedhulumiwa, na pia actions zenye tungependa zifanyike kiwaraka, tuwe na independent investigation. Serikali ihakikishe tumeweka uchunguzi ya wale wenye wamekufa na wale askari wenye wanaua watu washikwe, waweke jela, na kama hawezi shikwa iko jensis na tutangoja hapa mbele, tutasema basi kama anatuua tutaua. Kwa sababu pia wananchi wako na sheria ya ku-exercise directly, si ndio? Huwezi weka watu wanatuua nje na unafanya kama hatuna mamlaka ama namna ya kitu ya kufanya. Na tuwe na judicial intervention. Mahakama ingilia katika haya maneno.
And away from that, the government's plan to introduce the new Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF, to replace the National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF, has been dealt a significant blow following a High Court ruling that has declared it unconstitutional. The judgment was delivered by a 3-judge bench in which the court has ruled that there was no public participation in the development of the new healthcare program, a crucial aspect of the legislative process. As a result of the ruling, members of the parliament have been given 120 days to correct the legislation, failure to which the court will on November 20th nullify it in totality. Grace Ahati reports.
The government's new healthcare program, the Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF, set to replace NHIF, has hit a roadblock following a High Court ruling that has declared it unconstitutional. The ruling was issued shortly after many Kenyans received notifications from the National Hospital Insurance Fund NHIF scheme informing them about the upcoming changes related to the rollout of SHIF scheduled for October 1st, 2024. Delivering the judgment, a 3-judge bench comprising Justices Alfred Mabeya, Robert Limo, and Frida Megabit highlighted that the government failed to carry out public participation, a fundamental principle enshrined in the Constitution.
FFC were advisory.
According to the High Court, the new Social Health Insurance Act is likely to burden a few salaried individuals by creating inconsistencies in the contributions.
We agree that there is reason for apprehension as expressed by the petitioner. This is so because the current section was introduced ignoring a key principle under Article 201A, which emphasizes on the need for openness, accountability, and public participation in financial matters. Further, the question that lingers in our minds is, why was the new Section 38 introduced without the benefit of public participation?
The judges have, however, suspended the nullification of the Act for 120 days to give lawmakers an opportunity to rectify the legislation. Failure to make necessary amendments by November 20th will result in the complete nullification of the legislation.
The objectives and purpose of the impugned legislations were to have a progressive, transformative, and a huge impact in the realization of universal health care for this country. However, the haste with which they were enacted infringed on the national values and principles of the Constitution. Inasmuch as we appreciate the noble intention, we cannot disregard the clear constitutional tenets which binds us. Article 20 requires us to promote and protect the values that underlie an open and democratic society and the spirit, purpose, and objects of the Bill of Rights.
The Social Health Insurance Act was officially gazetted on March 8th, paving the way for its implementation. The act has, however, been a center of controversy, with the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, KMPDU, criticizing the government for moving forward with its implementation without involving stakeholders.
In default of A and B above, on the 10th day of November 2024, the following relief shall take effect forthwith. 1. A declaration is hereby issued that the entire Social Health Insurance Fund Act 2023, the entire Digital Health Act 2023, and the entire Primary Health Act 2023 are all unconstitutional for the reasons set out in this judgment and therefore invalid, null, and void. Since this was a public interest litigation, we order each party to bear own costs.
The government had already directed Kenyans to begin registering for SHIF effective July 1st, ahead of the official transition, which was scheduled for October 1st, 2024. The move comes as a relief to Kenyans who were otherwise required to make monthly contributions accounting to 2.5% of their gross salary, despite the current harsh economic times. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Well, many thanks, Grace Ahati, for that specific report. And now taking a look on matters education. Pan-African University Park has graduated 566 students in their 43rd graduation ceremony with various degrees and diplomas, among them 14 PhDs. The University Chancellor Bishop Callisto Odede, who presided over the ceremony, urged the graduates to remember the values installed in them and Park University if they were to soar high in life. His sentiments were echoed by the University Vice-Chancellor Professor Kihika Kiambi, urging the graduates to employ the skills acquired to bring about positive impact. Nelias Wanjiru with more details.
Park University, which has over 3,000 students from over 20 nationalities around the world, has today graduated 566 students with various degrees and diplomas, among them 14 PhDs. This is the first graduation ceremony to be hosted by Vice Chancellor Professor Diosinius Kihika Kiambi, who was installed in February this year. Professor Diosinius Kiambi urged the graduate to employ the skills acquired to bring about positive impact and reminded them that applied knowledge is power.
The knowledge and the skills that you have acquired to bring about positive impact wherever you serve. Remember that applied knowledge is power. Information is liberating, and education is the premise of all progress in every society and in every family. I encourage you to keep the university's core values close to your heart and leave them out. When you get them into your heart, guard them, because the word of God in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 tells us this: above all things, guard your heart, for everything that you do flows from it. The expectation that we have of you to impact the world will be a result of your guarding your heart. Be people of integrity, upholding moral and ethical uprightness in all your decisions and actions, and pursue excellence in life.
As he conveyed his heartfelt congratulations to the graduates, the Park University Chancellor Bishop Callisto Odede, who echoed the sentiments made by the VC, urged them to remember the values instilled in them at Park University if they were to soar high in life. He also reminded them not to be afraid of dreaming big, since the God they serve is God of impossibilities. Odede added that Park University has been keen on prioritizing faith, service, and excellence, also the importance of giving back to community through various initiatives that have happened in the recent times.
I urge you to remember the values instilled in you during your time here at Park University if you are to soar high like an eagle. As we reflect on the years of academic pursuit, let us not forget the valuable lessons learned beyond the confines of textbooks and classrooms, the friendships forged, the obstacles overcome, and the personal growth experience have all contributed to shaping the exceptional individuals we see today before us, who are just about to graduate. In keeping with our theme in Isaiah 40:31, as you go forth into the world, may your knowledge be tempered with wisdom, your ambition with integrity, and your actions with compassion. Remember that each of you is equipped with unique gifts and talents meant to be shared with the whole world. Been keen on mainstreaming and prioritizing faith, service, and excellence in all we do here at Park University. We have witnessed the power of prayer and the importance of giving back to our communities through various initiatives that have happened in the recent past.
The graduates also received counsel from the chief guest, Reverend Sam Owusu, who is also the alumni of Park University, who emphasized on the power of resilience.
As a famous Martin Luther once said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. As you embark on the next phase of your journey, I encourage you to embrace the opportunities that lie ahead with courage, determination. Do not let your dream die. God will help you.
Park University was chartered in the year 2008 by the late President Mwai Kibaki. The university offers 2 PhDs, 11 masters, 10 bachelors, 26 diplomas, and 7 certificate programs. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Nelias Wanjiru.
Now crossing the borders, a joint team from the African Union and COMESA has arrived in Kigali to observe Rwanda's 2024 general elections. The team will monitor the election process across all provinces, including Kigali. Their mission aims to ensure transparency and fairness in the presidential and parliamentary polls, with a preliminary report to be released on July 17th. Mumbi Waweru with the report.
With the mission being approved by the African Union chairperson Moussa Faki Mahamat and the COMESA Secretary General Chilese Mpundu Kapwepwe, following an invitation from the government of Rwanda and the National Electoral Commission, a team of election observers have arrived in Kigali, Rwanda. The observer team comprises of 48 members from 17 countries, including ambassadors, officials from election management bodies, members of African civil society organizations, African election experts and gender media, and youth specialists. They will monitor election day procedures such as opening of polls, voting, closing, and the counting processes, ensuring that the elections adhere to the legal framework governing elections in Rwanda and international standards. 3 candidates are vying for Rwanda's presidency: the current Paul Kagame of the Rwanda Patriotic Front, Frank Habineza of the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda, and the independent candidate Philippe Mpayimana. This marks the second time these 3 candidates have competed following the 2017 elections won by Kagame. The National Electoral Commission reports that 9 million people have registered for this year's combined presidential and parliamentary polls, with 589 candidates contesting for the 80 seats in the lower house of parliament. A total of 260 electoral observers, including 61 from the international institutions, have been accredited for the elections. The joint African Union and COMESA mission will interact with the Rwandan government, National Electoral Commission, political parties, candidates, media, civil society, faith-based organizations, and other international observer missions before, during, and after the elections. Their assessment will be based on the principles of democratic elections as outlined in the African Charter on Democracy, Elections and Governance, and other normative frameworks. Mumbi Waweru, Hope TV Newswatch.
Well, the report by Mumbi Waweru marks the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks for choosing Newswatch. With me, Sammy Adika. Do have a lovely night and a great weekend ahead. Good night.